Hello, 5th graders. Welcome to lesson 11.4, Creating Line Graphs. Let's get started. Today's objective is I can create a line graph by choosing a scale, labeling the axis, and using intervals to graph data with 100% accuracy in multiple attempts. Please pause to write the I can and by statement in your digital math notebook now. All right, guys. Yesterday we learned how to make ordered pairs out of a data table and graph the points. Today we're going to take those points and make them into something meaningful. I've started this graph for you. This graph is about movies that are being watched. You can see on the side that we have some titles. At the top, this is about movies being watched. In the bottom, this is the years that they were watched in. And on the left-hand side, we're tracking the number of movies watched. So we're saying the number of movies watched in a year. So we're describing what's happening in this chart with a graph. Let's plot these points. Remember that our X in this case is going to be our year, and our number of movies is going to be our Y. So that means that in the first example, I'm going to go to the year 2008, and I'm going to make a point at the number 8. Then my next year is 2009, and in 2009, they watched 12. So over to 2009 and up to 12. My next point is 2010 and 10. So 2010 and then up to 10. In 2011, they watched 14, so over to 2011, up to 14. And my last is 2012, up to 18. Now, right here, what we have is just a bunch of data. But the key part of a line graph is the line part. So with your scribble tool or with my pen, I'm going to take these and connect the dots to make a line. And then I could potentially describe, it looks like that on average, these people watched no less than 8 movies and possibly up to 18. And they watched them. Then in 2010, they watched less, but over 2011 and 2012, it went back up. So I can describe the data and this line patterning following the pattern. Let's try one together. All right, guys, in this example, we have a word problems to start off with. It says, the manager of Pan's Bakery keeps track of how many rolls are sold each day. Use the chart below to graph the scales and answer the questions. So let's go back and look here. Our graph is going to tell us how many rolls are sold each day. And if we look over here, our days are going to be our X value, and our number of rolls is going to be our Y value. So let's label some things before we start graphing. The title of our graph is going to be rolls sold. That's what we're describing in this graph. Our X value is going to be days of the week. And our Y value is going to be the number of rolls. So now that we know what each one of these parts mean, we can graph our points. Let's start off with Monday. On Monday, they sold 84 rolls. So I'm going to go over to Monday and all the way up to, now look, 80 is a little bit between, 84 is between 80 and 90. So I'm going to have to go past 80, but not as far as 90. So that's going to be about here. Because 84 is more than 80, but less than 90. So there are points in between, even if they're not labeled on our intervals and scales. Our next point is Tuesday. On Tuesday, he sold 72. So we're going to go over to Tuesday and up to 72. Okay, on Wednesday, he sold 66. So we're going to go to Wednesday, and then we're going to go to 60 and a teensy bit more. And then on Thursday, he sold 48. So Thursday was up to 40, not quite 50. And on Friday, he sold 54. So that would be more than 40, more than 50, not quite 60. And then if we go in and we connect those dots with a line, you can see that our graph goes down, 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 up just a little bit. So we could say things like, throughout the course of the week, he sells less rolls day by day, or he sells the most rolls on Monday. Let's go to the next page and answer some questions about the data that we graphed. Our first question says, how many more, now this is important, how many more rolls were sold on Wednesday than on Thursday? So we actually could look at this from our data chart. On Thursday, he only sold 48. On Wednesday, he sold 66. How many more tells us to subtract? So 66 minus 48. 6 minus 8 we can't do, so we have to borrow. 16 minus 8, however, is 8, and 5 minus 4 is 1. So that would be 18 more rolls were sold on Wednesday than on Thursday. In your digital math notebook, you have a spot to not only type in the number 18, but to show your work. Question number 3 says, how many dozen rolls were sold on Monday and Thursday? Well, let's see. A dozen means 12. So first off, we need Monday and Thursday, and then we'll find how many dozen. So on Monday, we sold 84. On Thursday, we sold 48. Oops, let me erase that and fix it. 48. And let's add them together. 8 plus 4 is 12, and 8 plus 4 is 12, plus 1 is 13. So he sold 132 rolls. Let's find out how many dozen that is. A dozen is 12, so we need to divide 132 by 12 to find out how many dozen that is. 12 goes into 13 one time, which is 12. We're left over with 1 and bring down the 2. And 12 goes into 12 one time, which is 12, no remainder. So that means that he sold 11 dozen. All right, friends, I'm going to leave you now to solve question number 4 on your own. Question number 4 says, how many dozen rolls were sold in all? That means that you need to add all of the numbers and then divide by 12 to find how many dozen were sold in all. There is room in your digital math notebook for you to type these numbers and show your work. Great job, 5th graders. When your digital math notebook is complete and you've shown all your work, then complete your exit slip to show your teacher your understanding. Great job!